Let's go deeper into this Regulus Star Sphinx alignment. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Spirit School. So on my last video, there were some comments made about how the stars, astrology, astronomy doesn't line up because the regular star doesn't reach the gaze until later on in the summertime. And yes, I knew about all this, but still feeling strongly that the alignment's happening. And so when I was connecting with this deeper, my spirit team was telling me, like, use your sight, use your sight. Immediately, the second Sphinx came to me. I was called to look into the actual research that was found. This is what came up. So I'm going to share with y'all and go through it so you can see what I'm saying. So this image is showing that the researchers found a mass structure that mirrors the Great Sphinx, but on the opposite end, facing west. Now, the Great Sphinx now face east, if I'm not mistaken. This regular star alignment, like this woman's left on my page, is going to be behind the Great Sphinx, which means on the other side, where this second Sphinx that was found is facing towards. And immediately came to me, of course, I always say this here at Spirit School, y'all, because it's true. There are no coincidences that this was found a week before day of alignment. Not to mention a vision that I had, and I see now that other people had visions of ancient Egypt between this time frame as well. And further research, I read that they found that the scans literally mirrored architectural structure of the Great Sphinx. Underneath it, size, the way the shafts are built, the way their passageways are built. And if you know from my other videos, that's what I was seeing. I was seeing chambers and things underneath the Sphinx. That apparently they also did scans of the Great Sphinx, different research teams, and they found that there are some sort of megastructure, some sort of massive space underneath. What I'm also getting is that the Sphinx was definitely built way before the pyramids. Way before the pyramids. The pyramids were built in between these two lion statues. They were built with the help of other ETs, assisted with this as well. But it was built before then. And the reason why they had this built on opposite ends so that during these times when Regulus would reach into the sky and gaze into the Sphinx's eye on both ends, it was a balance of skies, balance of the earth, divine masculine, divine feminine. It was also to represent that in whichever direction you look with this Regulus star, you will remember the Lyrans when it's at its highest peak in the sky from Regulus, the star in particular, the Regulus star, which is the heart of the lion, which also represents heart chakra, which is very, okay, I'm getting heart chakra, which is aligned with what I was saying about Yeshua transmuting this energy on Easter that everyone's going to celebrate for him into your heart chakra as well. That's another similarity they wanted me to bring up. There's intricacy and precision to everything that was created during ancient times and just with the universe in general. I've said that a million times. That's probably sound like a broken record right now, but if you're new to my page, I'm just letting you know that if you don't know that already. So this second Sphinx represents this alignment. Now, whether you believe it's a second Sphinx or not, it's on you. I'm not here to force it on you. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing, what I'm picking up. And I'm being called to also say these are similar scans in the way that when the other researchers, I forget who, I think it was last year or so, or the year before, when they found pillars that went super deep down into the ground underneath the pyramids, because the Sphinx and the pyramids are all connected. They knew about these underground megastructures, passageways. They emulated that with the Great Pyramids as well, creating a system underneath the pyramids to generate energy. But the difference is that the Lyrians kept hidden information in the Sphinx. So this was more of a reservoir of records versus the Great Pyramids I'm getting was about just creating energy. But like I said, the Sphinx also generated energy as well because of how it was built. The combination of the Sphinx, of the pyramids together, created this energetic vortex. I was saying the portal and stuff, right like above it. I'm also getting the reason why that like this second Sphinx hasn't been discovered before, because it was been buried under sand, as you can see from these images as well. But like, I don't know which pharaoh, one of these pharaohs wanted only one of these structures to be up with the pharaoh, his head on it, to represent that he is the one true ruler, leader, ordained God, anointed one, God-like being that should be worshipped. So the intention of that wasn't a positively filled intention. So that's why you're not seeing like the head of a pharaoh on the second Sphinx or anything. You're just seeing pure ground. It's like they took it down. This was done during the period within ancient Egypt where the power, greed, the use of dark magic, negative intentions, catering to these lower vibrational beings. This was during this ancient Egypt era as well. So don't think just because it's, pharaohs and golden jewelry and, spiritual knowledge, and there's high priestesses and priests and things like that, that there wasn't some nefarious activities going around, because there were pharaohs that fucked with that. They had these dark magicians that they worked with. Not all of them were of the light. I'm also being called to tell you to continue to use your spiritual eyes. Just because something was so doesn't mean that it's the truth. There's a lot of secret knowledge that humanity has yet to discover, but it is in this process of being revealed to you all. Not even the tip of the iceberg, but one of the many discoveries. There's going to be more discoveries I'm getting that is to come. And what you think is not possible is possible. What might seem unbelievable is real. And I'm being called to bring up the Epstein files. A lot of people thought all of this sadistic, ritualistic, evil activities, crimes that these rich and wealthy were doing were made up hoopla. But it turns out that it's true, that they've been torturing, eating, raping children. So you're going to see the true history of humanity. A lot of Egyptologists, a lot of people, that country does not want the truth coming out. Ones that are under payroll, it's a script they have to stick to. Like most other hidden truths that they want to keep from the world, from humanity. I'm getting it's very similar to the Bible, where they omitted Gospels? Is it Gospels? That's what it's called. Other Gospels were not included in the Bible because it also had information in there of the truths of this universe, of our connection to the stars. But at this point, everyone's consciousness is rising, it's elevating, so this naturally is going to come in with this higher stream of consciousness.